Hello and welcome to EWTN Vatican. My name is Andreas Stonehauser and I'm the Vatican Bureau Chief here in Rome. We want to present to you the latest news and the stories behind the scenes of the Holy See here in this eternal city, and you can follow all of those stories on our YouTube channel and the other social media channels. Please make sure to subscribe. Also subscribe to our email and you will receive a weekly update on everything that is going on here in Rome.
This week on Vaticano, we preview some of the potential countries that Pope Francis might visit this year, including Kazakhstan, and learn with us how the recent unrest could influence potential papal trips. The World Meeting of Families will be held in Rome this summer. Get updates on how families can participate in the midst of the pandemic. And join us as we travel to the Italian city of Amalfi, the city of the Apostle, St. Andrew. For this and more, Vaticano starts now. Despite the pandemic and difficulties in traveling, the Holy Father visited 5 countries last year, and this year the situation is expected to be similar due to the quick-spreading Omicron variant. However, Catholic News Agency reported that the Pope will potentially travel to several places in which he expressed interest. Here are 5 places that the Pope might visit in 2022. First, Canada. This visit could be the first among the potential papal trips and take place in the earliest opportunity in 2022. However, due to concerns about the Omicron variant, it could be postponed. In Canada, the Holy Father is expected to take part in the local Catholic bishops' pastoral process of reconciliation with the indigenous peoples. Second, Spain. Spanish bishops invited the Holy Father to visit Santiago de Compostela during their recent ad limina visit in December. According to Rome reports, Archbishop Julián Barrio Barrio of Santiago de Compostela told journalists that he believes that the Pope is interested in coming to Santiago, but the trip depends on the pandemic situation. Pope Francis could visit the Spanish pilgrimage site, the end of the famed Camino de Santiago, the Way of St. James, as it continues to celebrate a holy year throughout 2022. Third, Lebanon. Returning from Iraq, the Holy Father told reporters that Lebanon is a country close to his heart and that he wants to visit the country. A few months ago, Pope Francis met with the new Lebanese Prime Minister, Najib Mikati, where they discussed details about a potential trip. Fourth, Kazakhstan. The Congress of the Leaders of World and Traditional Religions is scheduled for September the 14th to 15th in Kazakhstan. Pope Francis and the Patriarch of Moscow, Kirill, are among those invited. A month ago, it was made public that Pope Francis will meet with Patriarch Kirill in 2022, so Kazakhstan could serve as the location for the second meeting between the two world leaders. However, recent unrest in the country could affect this possibility. Fifth, Florence, Italy. Florence is the only official confirmed papal trip for 2022 thus far. The Holy Father is expected to travel there on February the 27th to speak at a meeting of bishops and mayors of the Mediterranean region. This month, a group of German Catholics delivered thousands of signatures to Pope Francis, expressing their concern with the synodal path in Germany. Since December of 2019, German church functionaries and bishops are discussing topics such as church hierarchy, celibacy, church offices for women, and the church's view on sexuality and marriage. Early on, Pope Francis wrote a letter to German bishops regarding the synodal path. warning them that the process should not be simply trying to fall in line with the so-called zeitgeist, or the spirit of the age, nor focus solely on structural changes. German Catholics from the group Neuer Anfang, or New Beginnings, gave warnings about developments along these exact lines. They delivered a letter with their signatures, which read, "With great concern, we witness how the synodal path in Germany is losing its way. In the controversies brought forward by different political groups, the joy coming from the gospel seems to be lost." In more dramatic words, they personally ask the Pope for his help and an intervention in the situation in Germany. "We beg you to use all of your influence to protect the Church from the hands of those who would redefine it to their own liking." Pope Francis received the letter and signatures with great interest and encouraged the group to continue its work. According to Neuer Anfang, the Holy Father also signaled that he was willing to approach the German bishops accordingly. There's more news coming up from the Vatican. Stay tuned for a quick update from EWTN Vatican Bureau Chief Andreas Thonhauser.
Hello and welcome to our quick update on the most recent and interesting developments at the Holy See. First, the Vatican unveiled the motto for the next Jubilee year that is going to take place in 2025. Under the motto, Pilgrims of Hope, the Vatican is looking forward to receive millions of faithful for that special year. The ordinary Jubilee occurs every 25 years, and pilgrims will have the opportunity to receive a plenary indulgence as they step through the special Jubilee doors of various basilicas. Pope Francis welcomed the second group of Spanish bishops from Barcelona, Valencia, and Tarragona for their ad limina visit. The first group of bishops in December extended the invitation to visit the world-famous shrine of Santiago de Compostela. In his meeting with pilgrims from Catholic Action France, Pope Francis underlined that everyone's contribution matters to the Synod of Synodality. He said that synodality was not the search for majority consensus, but it's a style guide, guided by the Holy Spirit. Leading up to the Synod in 2023, the Holy Father encouraged the pilgrims to follow their motto of being apostles today, by seeing, judging, and acting according to Christ's example. Pope Francis received ecumenical groups and delegations from different Christian denominations as they came to Rome to participate in the week of prayer for Christian unity. It started on January 18th and was concluded on January 25th with a solemn evening prayer at the Basilica of St. Paul, outside the walls of the solemnity of the conversion of St. Paul. The Holy Father surprised Romans by visiting one of the local Roman record stores. This image was captured by Rome Report's journalist Javier Martinez. The record store is owned by his longtime friends who gifted the Pope with a classical record for blessing the newly renovated shop. Pope Francis, being a customer of the store for many years, fulfilled his promise of visiting as a Roman pontiff. And that's it with our brief update on the Vatican. Make sure to be with us next week when we have more for you right here from Rome.
And that was Andreas Thonhauser from Rome. After the break, we focus on Kazakhstan and hear from experts about the situation after the civil unrest, as well as about the likeliness that a papal trip will still take place. At the beginning of the year, Kazakhstan saw the most violent unrest in its 30 years of independence from the Soviet Union. Waves of protests against the rise in the price of fossil fuels soon turned into violence, clashes with the police, and acts of vandalism.
Cari fratelli e sorelle, I have learned with sorrow that there have been victims during the protests that have broken out in recent days in Kazakhstan.
The Holy Father prayed for peace in Kazakhstan on January the 9th and entrusted the Kazakh people to the protection of Our Lady, Queen of Peace of Ozyornoye.
I pray for them and for their families, and I hope that social harmony will be restored as soon as possible through the search for dialogue, justice, and the common good.
People in Kazakhstan are expecting the Pope to visit the country this year. Kazakh ambassador to the Holy See, Alibek Bakayev, says that he still has high hopes that Pope Francis will visit the country despite the tragic events.
Not only the Catholic community in Kazakhstan is looking forward to his visit, but also Catholics throughout Central Asia will certainly welcome the Pope's visit to Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan is a majority Muslim country with an officially recognized Christian minority.
If you look at all the appeals that the Pope makes in his speeches, they are consistent with what is said in Kazakhstan. Not only at the level of government, but you can hear these words from the lips of ordinary people.
The two groups have been living together peacefully, and the unrest hasn't seen any religious conflict.
Now, Kazakhstan is
EWTN Vaticano producer Alexei Gotovsky is native to Kazakhstan. He closely followed the situation and its effects on the Catholic community.
Fortunately, there were no reports on attacks or acts of vandalism against the churches. But the government urged people to stay at home and pray inside their houses so that the people would not go and gather in large groups in the churches while there was a state of emergency. Archbishop of Astana invited to pray for peace as well as for the victims.
The new government was just formed, and Alexei Gotovsky says that people in Kazakhstan have high hopes that it will be effective to bring peace. The 10th World Meeting of Families will take place in Rome this June. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, only 2,000 families will be able to participate in person. The Diocese of Rome is therefore partnering with media outlets, such as EWTN, to make the meeting interactive, enabling many more families to engage and profit from this event around the world. EWTN Vatican Bureau Chief Andreas Thonhauser has more for us.
We're here in front of St. Peter's Cathedral, where in summer one of the big events will take place here in Rome. And with me is one of the main organizers of the World Congress of Families. Father, maybe you can tell us why this event is so important and what is the idea behind the World Congress of Families?
Yes, the idea is to put in the center of the attention of the Church the families. Families are so important for our life. Everybody has come from families, and in this event will be a prayer for all the families of the world, but also a festival of the families, so a moment of joy, and a congress, a pastoral congress, where to speak about different problems and situation in the families of all the world. And all the event will be concluded by Holy Mass here in St. Peter's Square by Pope Francis.
So Pope Francis is actually inviting families to come here to Rome. What will that look like, especially in the times also of COVID-19 and so on? It's probably not so easy for families from all over the world to come. What will that look like?
Yes, will be a special attention for the reason. The Holy Father spoke about a multicentric and widespread event. So the center will be Rome, but also all the dioceses in all the world, where the same event and the same topics that will be treated here in Rome will also treated in the different event. With groups, with families, with parishes, with movement.
Leonardo, io te battesso nel nome del Padre.
The motto for this year's World Meeting of Families is Family Love, a vocation, a path to holiness. The meeting should support and strengthen fathers, mothers, children, and other relatives such as grandparents in their daily lives, especially as many families struggle, as divorce rates rise, and as many children are alienated from their parents. Is this Congress also meant to be an answer maybe for the questions of people looking for how to have an intact family?
Yes, that is a very important question. We see around us so much suffering, in family illness, wounds in the spouses and also in the children. And so to come back to the love in the family is essential for the future of the humanity, not only for the families now in this moment, but also to bring a new life in the future.
Pope John Paul II created the World Meeting of Families in 1994 to highlight the family at the heart of a civilization of love. This was also the motto of the meeting almost 30 years ago in Rome. Other meetings took place in Rio de Janeiro, Manila, Valencia, Mexico City, Milan, Philadelphia, and Dublin. These different venues underline the global reach of these meetings. By streaming the event through digital channels, the 2022 meeting in Rome should maintain the event's international dimension, as every diocese around the world is asked to participate and stage local events. As a tool for preparation, the meeting's official website www.romefamily2022.com serves as a hub for resources. There are 7 catecheses on the family, on topics such as holiness, vocation, or the importance of forgiveness. Also, short video clips are being produced to help families prepare themselves for this meeting. The most important aspect of the meeting, however, is for families to be again inspired to pray together. Mother Teresa was, I think, who said, a family that prays together stays together. So will this Congress also be a prayer festival? Will it be a place where families can pray amongst each other, but also with each other?
Yes, the prayer is, like always in the life of the Church, in the center. There is a very beautiful prayer for this meeting, a meeting of families, and in which is, how to say, concentrated all the hopenesses and all the need of the family of the world. Prayer is already the way that we are following in this time everywhere, and that is the intention of the Holy Father everywhere. So also in all the dioceses should be moments of prayer with the families and with movement and in parishes. So everywhere there is a Christian community.
The World Meeting of Families will bring together faithful from across the world to celebrate the family and to join together in prayer. If you want to find out more about this event, go to www.romefamily2022.com.
When we return, join us as we journey from Rome to Amalfi, exploring the rich connection between faith and travel. beautiful and mysterious connection exists between faith and travel. It's common to fall into the trap of treating relationship with God as something strictly ethereal, but in reality, it's so much more, and we can find Him in a world of adventure, ready to be explored. In a series of travel videos on EWTN Vaticano, we're bringing you to the sites of beauty and faith that are connected to the life of Jesus, the saints, Christians today, and His church. And now we take you to the Amalfi Coast, a popular destination that happens to be overlooked as a place of pilgrimage. Amalfi and Rome have a strong link. Before receiving the keys to the kingdom, Peter was called Simon, and his brother Andrew was already among the apostles before he joined. Both Catholics and Orthodox bestow upon St. Andrew the title First Called, because he was the first among the 12 called by Jesus. Much like visiting St. Peter's tomb at the Vatican, one can also discover the remains of his brother, St. Andrew, in Amalfi.
So we were talking to this fisherman on the docks, and he told us that this piazza is brand new.
As our team travels the Amalfi Coast to reveal Catholic pilgrimage sites, we join EWTN Vatican's Anthony Johnson to discover the place.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this travel video as we make our way to the town of Amalfi. Unfortunately, it's not a sunny day, but that won't stop us from capturing the atmosphere of this beautiful and calming place. Amalfi from the 9th century was for a long time a major commercial and naval military power. All this after its humble origins as a Roman town. Look at where we are. Pretty cool, huh? The cathedral was constructed in the 11th century. Then, in 1206, following the sack of Constantinople, Crusaders took the relics of St. Andrew to Amalfi for their safekeeping and protection. I am right here in the piazza in front of the Duomo di Amalfi. I have to say Amalfi correct because my American accent gets in the way. It's not Amalfi, it's Amalfi. Okay, first time I came to this coastline, a beautiful coastline, one of the most picturesque places in the entire world. I had no idea that the relics of St. Andrew were actually even here. Whenever I'm going any place in the world, I want to pair the fun, exciting experiences with a deep spiritual one. So it's not only something that is good for your spirit, but it's also something that deepens your soul and gives you a better sense of yourself and meaning in life. Behind the main altar is a painting that shows St. Andrew's martyrdom as he suffers on an X-shaped cross in the town of Patras, modern-day Greece, in the year 60 AD. In the crypt, frescoes adorn the space, document the saint's life, and tell the story of the relic's arrival to the cathedral. At the center of the chapel is a bronze statue of St. Andrew. His remains are just beneath it inside the altar. The chapel is open all year for tourists and mass attendees. I just went to 8 a.m. Mass. We got here at 7:45, perfect timing. If you go to Mass at any major historical site in the world, you get in for free as opposed to paying 3, maybe 5 euros. Another fun thing to do afterwards, I'm right outside this cafe right here in the piazza. These guys have been here for 150 years, this establishment, this family. So they know this city better than anyone, and their coffee, we'll take a look at it, it is an art form. Looking at the arrangement of various dolce and the care taken with every coffee, one cannot help but reflect on the artistry in the town's culture. Just outside this cafe is a Baroque fountain dedicated to St. Andrew, a reminder to locals and tourists of the saint's presence among them. Amalfi is a pleasant mix of faith, charm, and natural beauty, only to be enriched by the presence of the first called of the 12 apostles. In our next travel video, we head through the mountains that separate Amalfi from Naples and down to a Marian shrine in Pompeii with a special connection to the Vatican and Blessed Bartolomeo.